Welcome to the fight game with Icewater and Puma. We're going to get right into last week's fights and recap that. We're also going to be talking about the Canelo fight that's coming up this weekend. But the Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, I did not agree with this decision. Guido Cavalieri and Gwen Feldman, I don't know which fight you were watching. I really don't. But this should not have been a split decision. I felt Serrano pretty much beat Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor did not do enough to win this fight. A draw at best to get people to maybe watch the rematch. So, but your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, there was what was ironic about this is Katie Taylor was a legend. She came in, everybody knew about her. Amanda Serrano has been a champion, has come along. She moved up two weight classes, but at the same time, she was coming in with guns blazing, right? She's ready to prove to the world that this was her time. And what better way than considered to go against a champion, a true champion, a true legend. And the first part of the fight, Serrano was all about the business, particularly in the fifth round when she was very dominant, backed Katie Taylor up, bloodied her nose, and almost seemed like she should have got her out of there, right? And she was just dominant. But as we move forward later on in the fight, Katie Taylor started coming back. And I think part of it was because Serrano is so busy and she comes with all force and reckless abandon at times that the way that she fights, she didn't have the energy. You know, she was somewhat exhausted. And the way that she was not able to punch as hard as she did opened the door for Katie Taylor to kind of wait, slow down, and then start swinging wide and start catching her because Serrano like this, but she wasn't as fast as she was. So and the punches didn't have the same momentum that they did previously or the same power. So I agree with you. Even if you said Katie Taylor won round 8 through 10 or whatever you want to say, right? I still thought Serrano had done so enough where she literally had her in trouble almost to the point of knocking her out.
Yeah.
That she was deserving of a draw. I thought it was a draw. When I watched it, I was like, my point was, Serrano, do not fall down. Whatever you do, don't fall down. If you fall down, they're going to take it. And they took it anyway. But I thought that it should have been a draw. It was a hell of a fight. It was packed. Blackthorn said, which he was right, that the Knicks sell out every night. But it wasn't
rocking like that.
They wasn't a worthwhile sellout. This was a worthwhile sellout. The countries were well represented, and to see two women sell it out and rock it and live up to the point of all of the hype. You know, a lot of people. You even asked me. So a friend of yours asked you whether or not it was worth it. I hope they watched it.
Yeah,
I
paid for it. It was like $25, and it was worth it. It was well worth it. It's like paying for a ticket to watch a great fight, and it was a great fight.
And like you told me though, you don't like watching women fight, but you made exceptions. Yeah. And to me, it was fight of the year. Throw the genders out, fight of the year, and we'll see if they come back with it. Somebody asked me that earlier today whether or not you thought it would be a rematch. My question is, I don't know if Katie Taylor can handle that one more time.
No.
And Serrano is like, yeah, I'll take it easily, but Katie Taylor, I don't think she's ever been challenged like that before. It probably took all she had out of her greatness to win that fight or even come close, come back the way that she did. And I don't think she's ever seen anybody like Serrano. Serrano is so she don't have no boyfriend. She just stay in the gym. She married to boxing. I'm like, all right, girl, you done had your little fight now, come on, calm down and bring it home now. She too cute not to have somebody in her life, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I seen her dressed up. I was like, you know what? Little correction matter on the front teeth or something like that. She'd be a star. But anyway, I'm just she too cute not to have that. But then again, I might be careful because I got in trouble last time. I start looking at folks. And
wrong.
I'm gonna protect my heart and say she's a hell of a fighter and leave it there.
Yeah. So she is now Taylor, the WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF World Lightweight Female Champion. So congratulations to her. The next fight on tap is Jesse Vargas versus Liam Smith. Now, I thought Vargas had this fight. Early on, Vargas seemed to be really tagging Liam, And then it just seemed like midway through the fight, he just ran out of gas. There was no more gas in the tank. And Liam Smith took the fight to Vargas, where they had to stop it with a TKO in the 10th. In this super welterweight fight. Liam Smith really impressed me in this fight, the way he just stood in there, was patient, and he hung in there, and he took him out in the 10th.
Yeah, what was ironic about that is Jesse Vargas has been known to kind of be low key. I mean, he fought a draw against Adrian Boner, started out really strong. In this fight, he said he trains trainers. He actually beat Nonito Donaire, the champion, the former champion, the champion now, as in his corner. And he was all excited. He changed his style. He was really aggressive coming in. And as you said, at one point, he kind of ran out of gas. And we started seeing the same old Jesse Vargas. And then Liam Smith came from the old country. He's sitting there going like, came in there, looked like a senior citizen, came from the old country.
Yeah, with the gray hair.
Oh my God, looked like a senior citizen. His eye was all messed up and mangled. He just kept moving forward. And then after a while, he just got mad and he started punishing me. And I was sitting there going like, oh my goodness. And then Liam Smith was like, son, you think you're tough? You're not tough enough. And you could just tell that he was ready to go. He did not quit. And despite the blood flowing in his eye, he just kept marching forward and he got the job done. So I was really impressed by Liam Smith. My only thing is, though, everybody said, oh, he has a lot left. He needs to get back. And Liam Smith, you better go sit down somewhere, bro. I mean, granted, don't jump in there with them young cats. I mean, I call them young because you look a lot older than they are. You're only like 32, 33, I think he is. Yeah. But you look like you done had it, bro. So you might want to get you one fight, get to make you a lot of money because you were a champion. But be careful because that was still that still was Vargas, right? Still Vargas. You keep moving up, you move up a little bit higher with the big boys. Go to get your payday and get the hell out of there because it may not be pretty. You might be on COVID.
Right. So before I get to your son's fight, there was another fight that we highlighted last week. James Mackenzie Morrison versus Hassan Rockymon Jr. And Morrison stopped Hassan Rockymon Jr. in the 5th round with a TKO. What are your thoughts about this fight?
Well, Morrison said, I don't need the name. You can have the name, but you don't come here to fight. I would knock your butt out. Sometimes we get so caught up in the name, like we into the Muhammad Ali's grandson, Ali Walsh and all that. But, when you come in there and the guy's hungry, I mean, you don't care about that. I mean, your daddy ain't fighting. Right. Your granddaddy ain't fighting. And if you don't come right, I'm going to put it to you. You're not ready. And I think that's what happened. Morrison's just like, you know what? You didn't come prepared and your dad's not in here. This is not your daddy's boxing. And he handled the business. So you got to give him kudos for that. So, Rockman was getting all the love because of his dad and all of the hype. But Morrison, like, I don't care about that. And I'll put it to you.
Right. The fight that I was really impressed with Shakur Stevenson. He kind of reminds me of a throwback fighter over his victory over Oscar Valdez, where he's cautious, but he's dangerous. And so he's not going to take a lot of punishment. Matter of fact, it was a unanimous decision, 12 rounds. Tim Cheatham, David Moretti, and David Sutherland, all unanimous decision. But he kind of made Oscar Valdez, who was a hell of a fighter, look ordinary in that ring. Your thoughts? Yeah,
and you said the right words right there, looking ordinary. There used to be one other dude made people look ordinary. His name was Floyd Mayweather. Yep. Floyd Mayweather made great fighters look ordinary. And I don't want to compare the two because my son Shakur is a totally different beast. He has his own way of doing things. I'm so happy. But one thing we noticed too about him is, when we saw that Valdez, put a strong effort and handled business against Burchell earlier, how good Shakur is. And he's getting better from that standpoint. And what we also found out too is now, if you saw how big he was coming in during the fight, somebody said he looked like he was like 150, 155. They said he might put in 20 pounds coming in after the weigh-in.
He looked much bigger.
Yeah, and I'm like, I hope you ain't on that stuff, boy. Anyway, but you don't want to, because that's what they say when if you're bigger and you're not naturally bigger, they say certain things. But he was dominant, he was strong, he looked real good. Just happy from that standpoint. I want to know what he's gonna do next because he's like the guy now at 130. They're saying they're gonna try to bring him along slow. Nah, man. Let's move him up to 135. To me, I've been wanting to see this fight anyway. And he mentioned it, but I don't know if they want to do it right away because Bob Arum, they're trying to bring him along slower. There's somebody at 130. I think the IBF champion, he could fight him or something to that effect. There's one other guy that has the belt. But I think it's time. I ain't saying you got to go out and fight Tank Davis right now, because that's for another couple of years maybe. But I would love to see him fight the winner of George Kambosos Jr. and Devin Haney.
Yeah,
I would love to see.
For me, pound for pound right now in the top 10.
I would love to see him fight Devin Haney if Devin Haney wins. That's 135. He can make 135 easy. They both know each other. You know, they sparred years ago. That'll be a mega fight. And then it will allow him to move up and prove to everybody what's going on. Also, too, trying to think of the other. Is it Garcia? Is it the other kid, Ryan Garcia, that just fought recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's at 135. You know, he's been running his mouth. I don't think he's ready. I think Shakur would dominate him. I would love to see that. So Oscar could get some more love on the main stage, but I think Shakur would dominate him. So if you don't want to move up real quick like that, fight Ryan Garcia if he would take the fight, right? You don't know if he would take the fight, but I want to see him move up because he's done some great things. With that being said, the only thing I'll say last but not least, because they've been, the media jumps on all kind of stuff. There's a bad scene after the fight during the post conference where his family was trying to get into the media room, and there was an issue with them and security, and he runs off the stage, takes his belts off and runs outside to protect his family. Dude, it's 9 of y'all, man. You get somebody to put them in order. I'm just saying, I know you love your family, but please, y'all can get that in order. My suggestion is tell your family, and I don't know you like that, but I just wish not. And I know you're close to his family, but tell the family you still handling business after the fight. When you go to the press conference, that's your time to still make the money.
You're right.
Everybody knows afterwards you have an after party, right? Have the people escorted back to the suite, let them get refreshed, change their clothes, get ready, all that, and then I'll meet y'all at the spot. It gives him about an hour, hour and a half, everybody fresh, get your drink on, whatever you're doing, enjoy yourself, do it that way. Because when you cause him to lose precious time after winning his belts and winning in such an incredible fashion, you're taking away from the image that he's built up on, and you continue to build up on it. He just got engaged too, but y'all got to do better, man. Y'all owe it to him to just kind of chill out. I don't know who that person to get them together, but in managing them, if it's mom or whoever, y'all need to be at that press conference, man. I mean, I know y'all excited and y'all like being in it, but you know, usually at the media situation, been there and done that a few times. They're not going to issue no 10 passes for family, bro. So, you know, because there's too many people in there already that don't belong in there. So, you know, just do yourself a favor, let everybody chill out, get them a little room, let them relax, get comfortable before the after party, and things make a lot safer for you and for them.
Right, I agree. The fight coming up this week with Bivol and Alvarez, and Dmitry Bivol is a Russian boxer. And in your opinion, does he even have a legitimate shot to beat Canelo Alvarez?
Well, you got to say he has a legitimate shot because he's undefeated, right? He's a great amateur fighter. He's done his due diligence on the pro circuit. I think he has, 18 fights, something to that effect. But you're going up against Canelo. Canelo's been seasoned, over 40 fights. He's fought some of the greatest of all time, you know, and he's put in work. He fought the great Floyd Mayweather. He's learned a lot since then, changed his style. I think Bivol has a chance, but I'm not sure how much of a chance, because Bivol's a good, solid boxer. You may give Canelo some trouble early, but how Canelo does it is he waits and he stalks him and waits till the end, and he puts it on him. I don't think he'll just be able to dominate him, because there's something to say about the difference in size, right? You know, this guy's 175 legit, and he's been a light heavyweight for a long time. So Canelo's going to have to work for it, but it's also going to show you that Canelo has learned the craft of being able to take bigger guys down because he's been around for so long. So I think Bivol has a shot, I'm just not sure how much of a shot. When you look at his resume, there's only a couple of names on there that make you go, yeah. I mean, he handled business with, he used to be what was considered a knockout artist, who was knocking people out a lot. Then like his last 6 fights, he's been more of a decision guy, winning by decision. He fought the great Jean Pascal to a decision win. But other than that, he's been fighting a lot of decisions. So he has a chance, taller, longer reach, all that too. But it's Canelo. And I think people are going to watch it because it's Canelo. But I think people are still frustrated because there are a couple other fights people want to see Canelo take, so they can really see him get in there and mix it up with some people they think that may have a true chance of beating him.
Yeah. Are there any other fights we should be watching out for this coming weekend or in the future?
That's the main thing right there. You have coming up in May 21st, David Benavidez. That a lot of people are looking forward to is fighting David Lemieux. Also on May 28th, Gervonta Davis versus Rolando Romero. That's the guy he's supposed to fight. And there was some allegations, and now they're going to fight for real again. May 14th, definitely Jermell Charlo, the rematch versus Brian Castano. You don't want to miss that fight on May 14th. And let's see, July 23rd. I know we're way ahead, but I'm just throwing some things out for the future. Alexander Usyk in a rematch versus Anthony Joshua.
We have a UFC 274, which we'll talk about next week. This is the Fight Game. He's Icewater. I'm Puma. See you next time. The champ is here. Time's up. The champ is here. The remix. The champ is